Okay. Happy Tuesday, loves. Good evening. Good evening, Facebook, the Affinity Lounge. Good evening, Instagram. Good evening, YouTube. Welcome to our 8th session. You all have been really hanging in there with me. So tonight is our 8th session of our March Manifest Challenge, where we began a couple weeks ago. Now, if you've attended any of my live streams or any of my sessions before, please make sure you type hello in the comments. Let me know if you're catching this live or if you're catching this as a replay. And if this is your first time watching, thank you so much for joining. My name is Dani 𝙍𝙩. I'm a licensed psychotherapist and a happiness transformation coach. And I teach ambitious women effective tools to build confidence and feel worthy again, whether post-breakup, single, or in a relationship. Oh, mom is on Instagram. So if you heard me say the March Manifest Challenge earlier and you're not sure what I'm talking about, tonight's session is part of a series called the March Manifest Challenge, where I've been going live 3 times a week since the beginning of March, and we'll go 3 times a week till the end of March, discussing actionable topics on how to manage waves of intense, challenging feelings, being able to navigate conflict, expressing your emotions better, getting clear on and establishing boundaries, and improving communication and relationships. Mom is in the Affinity Lounge. Nice. I'm so glad I'm able to see the comments too. Great. So we subconsciously break ourselves down. And what I mean by that is that we limit the ability to trust ourselves, to feel confident in ourselves through self-betrayal. And self-betrayal can look like saying yes when we meant to say no, trying to just go along with things for the sake of not trying to rock the boat, or not standing up for ourselves, breaking promises that we made to ourselves. So that is what our March Manifest Challenge is all about. So starting Monday, we made a promise. This was a couple Mondays ago. We made a promise to ourselves to do 1 action every day for the remainder of March. So this year I was thinking how, if you think about with Lent, the idea is that you give something up, right? So I was thinking how a lot of the chaos and the disappointment in our lives comes from our failure to take action. So that got me thinking, what if we actually added 1 thing that we committed to doing for the remainder of March that would really move the needle in some way of improving the quality of our life? So what is that for you? Is that to make a gratitude list every morning? Is that to greet your significant other first thing in the morning before picking up your phone? Is that to move your body 30 minutes a day? Is that to drink a half a gallon of water? What is that for you? And by the way, I want to mention that it is not too late to join us, especially as there are still 9 days left of March. So you can give yourself a good 7-day challenge here with doing that and noticing what comes up for you. And if you have been on this journey with me since we've started, what has been coming up for you? What are you noticing as you've been trying to make this commitment with yourself of doing this one thing? Have you been able to follow through with that commitment? And which days have you not been able to follow through with that commitment? And what ended up happening that you made more important than following through with your commitment with yourself? Okay, so it is not too late to join us. Let me know that you're in for the challenge and what you're going to add by sharing on social media with hashtag March Manifest Challenge and tagging me, all right? So along with our March Manifest Challenge, I'm also offering you a free self-care assessment tool to download to support you in getting grounded with what area of your life you may actually want to commit to. So when you download it, you'll see it has a scoring of 1 through 3. 1 being I do this poorly, and 3 doing I do this well. And you'll see it's divided up into physical self-care, psychological and emotional self-care, social self-care, spiritual self-care, and professional self-care. So once you complete it, you can get clear on which area of your life you want to commit to doing 1 thing consistently, 1 thing consistently for the next 9 days. So to download that, you can check that out at DaniLaBerry.com/March. DaniLaBerry.com/March-Manifest-Challenge. So it's March Manifest Challenge with dashes in between, basically. So on Facebook and on YouTube, you're going to see the link in the caption of this video. On Instagram, you're going to see the link in my bio. So let's jump on into tonight's session. Reading self-help books sometimes isn't enough. we may think that reading books will bring about solutions, like a sort of answer to our prayers. Now, I am not bashing self-help books, and by the way, if you didn't already know, I wrote one myself, Stories of an Ex-Party Girl, How to Feel Happy and Good About Yourself Without Alcohol and Drugs. So I am an author of a self-help book myself. So it's not to bash self-help books. Reading tips and tricks and solutions is great. However, if you haven't really worked on any unresolved trauma, if you haven't figured out why there is tightness in your chest, if you haven't figured out why even though you may be going to bed at a decent time, you're always feeling tired, if you haven't done these, if you haven't really looked at what is underneath or the underlying, doing these simple habits and changes, they may help, but it's really just a band-aid. So, for example, a vision board or journaling, doing these sorts of things, they alleviate some of the symptoms of these problems, but they don't actually address the underlying issues. So we can do journals, we can do journal writing, we can do vision boards, we can try affirmations and things of that nature. But if we haven't actually had a chance to work on or look at ourselves, then that can actually not do much. We may actually not even uncover much just by reading these things and just trying to implement them on our own. So you may notice, for example, even feeling that deep pit in your stomach from the pangs of loneliness and just going from relationship to fill that feeling of loneliness or to fill those feelings of boredom. So until you truly and genuinely have a relationship with yourself, you're going to keep circling back to the same tips and tricks and readings and podcasts. So as this is the third week of our March Manifest Challenge, and perhaps you've already downloaded the self-care assessment tool and maybe you're interested in working with me, I do offer a complimentary 30-minute call where we talk about where you are, where you'd like to be, and if we're a fit. So if you'd like to schedule that call, go to danielaberry.com/discovery-call. The link is in the caption of this video if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, and on Instagram, the link is in my bio. So if you found some value to our session tonight, please share this with a health and well-being bestie of yours. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit like and subscribe, and be sure to join me tomorrow evening for our next session as we continue to move along here in our March Manifest Challenge. So tomorrow night we will be meeting here 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 6:30 p.m. Central Time, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Time. Thank you so much again for joining me tonight in our March Manifest Challenge session. Again, my name is Dani LeBerry. I'm a licensed psychotherapist and a happiness transformation coach. Take care of yourself and have a great evening.